Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sly Geordie, and welcome back to F1 23 My Team career mode for the Imola Grand Prix, or basically the Italian Grand Prix for this season, as it is the only one. I removed Monza. Last episode was the Miami Grand Prix, and it's looking quite ominous since Baku. Verstappen is back with a vengeance, of course. He does have the freshest car in the grid, and I do have a sneaking suspicion that what failed for him in China was probably the I.C.E, as we are now going to be running into issues of that in this race, as I basically mentioned last episode. We're going to keep the special livery that we made for Miami as well, because I actually really like it. And according to this R&D chart, we're actually ahead of Williams in the R&D chart right now, so that's really cool. It won't last long. Williams actually are bringing in a couple of upgrades going into this Grand Prix. I did double check going into this race, so yeah, but it's a good sign, because it means with the next major upgrade we are 100% going over Williams. But these are the parts that we're running right now. They're looking more or less a little bit worn, some parts more worn than others, but the I.C.E is definitely one that is really going to be to our detriment in this race. But because Monaco is right after this and power doesn't necessarily matter, there isn't any really long straights in Monaco, so you know, there's absolutely no way that I want to just replace it before then, because I feel like it's a bit of a waste. So this race is going to be a bit rough. It's going to be very difficult, and we've just got to race hard and just I guess hope we can get P2, because even P2 is going to be a lot to hold on to now. Verstappen, there's just no point. I'm not going to be running for P1. Right now, we don't need to worry too much. We still have a bit of a gap ahead of Verstappen, and even if he does finish P1 ahead of us, he'll either be equal on points or only just ahead, and it really won't matter. And I'm pretty confident going into Monaco, because even with a lot of the engine wear, I'm feeling quite good about how good I am at that track. We actually won Monaco with a weaker car compared to the rest of the grid in Season 1, so I feel like we can definitely do it again. We're going to repurchase the rotor speed. I really hope that doesn't fail, but that was one of the parts that we actually got new towards the end of Season 1 after the regulations were announced, so we lost it. So we already had rotor speed in Season 1 for like a couple of races, but we lost it, unfortunately, going into this season. And of course, I just really haven't been focusing on the powertrain, and that combining with the I.C.E being really worn, yeah, it's really going to come to our detriment going into this race. But we're looking to buy another part as well. I was really considering rushing it or something, but I don't want to do that. I want to make sure we have the highest possible chance of getting these parts, because it's going to be really important going into the second half of the season. Monaco is officially going to be the halfway point, so yeah. We've got a new part coming on the 17th. It is going to be the ECU for the powertrain, so that is good. We've got something there. Tyre analytics data should be coming up pretty soon as well. We've got a new department decision to do. We're obviously going to set up the tour. It actually gives you quite a lot of acclaim, so yeah, I want to get that team acclaim, because the closer we get to level 25, the closer we get to a new sponsor and more money. Unfortunately, the tyre analytics data has failed. That's really unfortunate, personally, but at least now we know, like, once we actually try and develop that again, it's not going to fail this time. So obviously I need to do my practice sessions to get enough R&D points to be able to get that again, but it should be coming before Monaco, so that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect for us. Yeah, it's just great. So I'm really not too worried about races after Imola, but Imola is definitely a race I'm worried about, because adding on to the fact I'm not actually that good at it anyway. And unfortunately, I don't even think I bought the tyre analytics data. I don't even think I repurchased it. I'll have to double check, but I think I forgot that it existed and just went with a new major chassis part anyway, which is just silly of me. And I have since gone back to actually double check whether I did. I have repurchased it, but it was after this event, so yes, I did forget about it after the practice sessions, unfortunately, so that does suck. But here we go, going into our first lap of Imola in qualifying here. It's a pretty good first couple of corners here for me. And here we go. This is a corner that caught me out so often, and it does it again. We go right into the gravel. That is a terrible start. And obviously, I want to continue on these tyres. I don't want to waste a set of tyres, so I'm just going to have to save fuel. And we had an even better couple of turns, and we once again failed there. But it's only because we got caught on the curb a little bit, so that will cost us a couple of attempts, if not more. But it's only the first lap of quali, and it wasn't going to be a strong lap anyway because these tyres are already a little worn from the original lap. But yeah, continuing on the rest of the lap, the reason I actually decided to go with Imola over Monza is because Imola takes more skill. Monza is a very, very easy track once you get the hang of it. And it really isn't that difficult to get the hang of it. You know, really isn't that much difficulty when it comes to Monza. I wanted to have Imola, you know, and added to the fact that I actually kind of like Imola, even though I'm not very good at it. I actually quite like the track, so yeah, I think we'll alternate it between the Imola and Monza every season. So season 3 won't have Imola, we'll have Monza instead, and then season 4 will have Imola, and then season 5 will have Monza. So yeah, we'll just alternate it, and I think the final season will definitely be like 23 races again. But yeah, going to our second lap of Q1, not a very good first sector, although we did improve late on into it. And we actually ended up getting a purple second sector. So when it comes to the corners and stuff, we actually seem to be really good. We have the setup down. It just comes down to power, and unfortunately, we would have done a lot worse at Monza. So yeah, in terms of like lap pace, I'm kind of glad that we have Imola and not Monza, because Imola has more corners, and therefore that's more for us to take advantage of in terms of handling. But Felipe Drugovich actually didn't do all that bad in Q1. He was only 2 places off of Q2. I think it would like, he doesn't have a lot of time. Like I said last episode, I am considering Nico Hulkenberg for that second seat. And you might notice that you're not seeing Q2. We obviously made it through, but I don't know where it went. I'm going to be honest. Did I not record it or something? Did I accidentally delete it? I don't know. But we've skipped to Q3. I do really apologise for that. I have actually had a look through my capture gallery for it. I must have deleted it by accident or something. I don't know. But after that first lap of Q3, we're now checking the I.C.E. 61% wear, and yeah, P8 was the best we could muster for that first lap. So I've actually decided to add a couple of ticks onto the front wing. That's pretty much one of the only things we can change while within Parc Fermé, and I want to maximize our chances as best as possible of having a good race, or having a good starting position for the race. So we're actually going to start our final lap of qualifying really late on in Q3 here. So we're bringing track evolution into effect the most here. We've got a little bit of extra downforce for the corners, and I'm hoping we just make a lot more time going into sector 1, because we pretty much have the other sectors down, I'm pretty sure. So we just need to maximize a little bit more time in sector 1, maybe push out, maybe we can get a little P5 or whatever. Because I know we can make up some positions at the start, that's for sure, but definitely a bit slower going into this, which makes sense. We have a little less downforce, but really not that much, and honestly, that was perfect. That was an absolutely perfect start to Sector 1 here, as we now go into this tricky corner that always loves to catch me out, and oh my god, we are 3/10 up on our original lap here. This is absolutely incredible. What an amazing start with Sector 1, a green Sector 1, so an improvement, but not the best. And we do take a little bit too much curb there. That does cost us a little bit of time, but we can still rectify it. But we do go a little bit wider than I like, and the tail gets a bit happy. So we actually fall into the red. So unfortunately Sector 2 has completely ruined it for us, but there are still time to improve. But I think a top 5 is completely out of the window now, but I'm pretty sure we can beat Russell and Ocon at the very least, maybe even Bottas if we're lucky, we'll see. But I've never been out-qualified by an Alpine, I don't think, so it's not going to happen today, and I don't think an Aston Martin's going to do it neither. So here we go, across the line. What is it going to be? And it's a P8. We do not improve. We improve the time, but we do not improve the position, and I think that's because we just lost a couple of tenths in Sector 2. We could have been, if we look at the timesheets here, we could have been as high up as P5. Yeah, P5. If like we take off like well, no, if it's a couple of tenths, then yeah, we would have been as high up as P6. Sorry, so we could have, the P6 would have been an amazing start, especially if we wanted to get close to Verstappen or Sainz. But Charles Leclerc takes pole position here at Imola. So without further ado, let's go to the grid.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. A lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Hamilton, Bottas, the owner driver, Russell, Ocon, Gasly, Teo Porcher, Joe, Tsunoda, Albon, Norris, Hulkenberg, Drugovich, Magnussen, Liam Lawson, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. And now it's time to head down to the track. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Now, I want to ask you about Lando Norris. And Anthony Davidson joins me in the commentary box for this once again. And they've gone beyond their allocation of changes allowed. It means they're going to be taking a grid drop, and it could be a tough racing stall.
Yes, it's not the position you want to be in at the start of the Grand Prix. Penalties like this put you in amongst the traffic. But we know they have more pace than those around them, so I expect they'll make some strong progress in the first few laps.
Well, here we go. I'm unsure of what my race engineers want to do in terms of race strategy, but they're looking for 12 laps on the mediums. I'm not too sure about that. The mediums just don't feel good with the MyTeam car, and so I'm thinking maybe lap 11 might be okay, might be better. So I don't usually like to do that, but we'll just have to see. Obviously, we can pit a bit earlier if we feel like it, but I'm going to go with the lap 11 pit. And 11 more laps onto the hards.
Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question that I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which teams have got it horribly wrong?
Well, here we go, waiting for the cars to get back onto the grid. Yes, you might notice since last episode we've actually put on the immersive, not immersive, but the other option, I forgot what it's called, for the formation lap. I just get a bit bored of the formation lap now. We've been doing it for about a season and a half, so yeah, just whatever. Here we go then, up to 5 red lights, ready to get the Imola Grand Prix underway, and it's a pretty decent start from everybody involved here. We're going to press the ERS to try and get in front of Bottas, and we're going to see if we can find a way past Perez and Hamilton. We've clicked ERS off just to try and save it a little bit more. We really do need to save the energy store, and we actually very aggressive against Sergio Perez, and we're going to go around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Going to try and squeeze him to the inside here, not to give him any space at all, and we get all the space on the outside. That is a beautiful start from us to get up into P5 behind Oscar Piastri, but Lewis Hamilton is not done yet. Hamilton obviously has a big advantage over us, obviously with Mercedes' recent upgrades, and of course our engine wear now really going to start taking effect in this race, and you might already be able to tell from the race start, because if you have a look earlier on in the season, our race starts were amazing. We were able to get up into P1 at times, obviously winning the race quite comfortably. We would have won the race comfortably at Bahrain, and China was comfortable enough. We pretty much had that under full control, but now it's completely changing. Things are completely changing with all this wear, and Imola is going to be a very tough race for us. We're struggling to keep up with Piastri. Fortunately, though, on the corners we seem to have a big advantage, but it just makes you wonder, how good could we be if, you know, we had these certain parts, and there's been a big crash! There's been a big crash, and it's the Ferraris! Charles Leclerc has got a 5-second penalty, and Carlos Sainz is nowhere to be seen. I think he's out. Carlos Sainz is out. He's one of the main championship contenders. His season is beginning to fall apart. We're going to have a little replay here. They were chasing down Max Verstappen, and Leclerc got a bit overzealous over the curb and went straight into Sainz. They were just not giving each other enough space. Quite frankly, Leclerc should never have gone over that curb. That's entirely his fault. I don't know what he was doing there, trying to overtake Verstappen on that corner. And oh my god, he braked really early then, almost brake checking us. So yeah, that 5-second penalty is completely valid, and he has to pit anyway because he's got damage. But wow, that makes our lives so much easier. Both Ferraris implode at the home race. The Tifosi are going to be enraged, furious at Charles Leclerc for that exchange there. They might want to kick him out of Ferrari, who knows? But oh my god, what an opportunity this is for us. We're still trying to chase Piastri down, of course, but we did get a pretty nice overtake on Leclerc. Not that it would have mattered anyway because he was going into the pits, but yeah, we now have a huge advantage. Of course, that gives us an extra lap on these tyres as well, due to, well, an extra little couple of sectors because of that virtual safety car. And now as we go on to lap 4, going on to lap 5, we now have DRS on Piastri, using a little bit of ERS, but I don't even think we need to use it fully because we have the speed, we have the pace. We're going to go around the outside. Piastri brakes early. We are the last to brake, to quote the F123 tagline. And there you go. We've had a much better start to Sector 1 there. There's no way we're going to catch Max Verstappen. He seems to be peeling away even when Piastri was there. So, yeah, engine wear and the fact that the Red Bull's the best car on the grid anyway. They're not that far ahead, as shown by Perez, but yeah, Verstappen definitely someone to keep an eye on in terms of the title race because, yeah, going to be a bit of trouble. So that's why I'm a bit more confident about Monaco, because if you don't do well on that track, doesn't matter how good your car is, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So yeah, Monaco all to play for. Going to be a little bit more difficult for us in terms of acceleration because, of course, it's down to the I.C.E. But who knows? Maybe there'll be some weather changes. We haven't actually had any of that so far this season. It's been really boring. I wish there was an extra option to edit the weather for each race, or at least like edit what happens, like have what lap it happens on be random. But yeah, but we've had a very good lap right there. That's why there hasn't been any cuts for a while, because yeah, I wanted to keep that lap in. We've actually set the fastest lap. You might have noticed I used a lot more ERS. So yeah, whatever happens, at least we're going to get the fastest lap point, hopefully. So yeah, that's going to be a really good thing as we now go on to lap 11. This is going to be our pit lap. I'm not sure if Verstappen will be pitting, and honestly, I don't even think he needs to. His pace is looking so good on those mediums. I think he could probably go an extra lap, and I think that's what he's going to do. Yes, he is. Verstappen is going for another lap. We are going to pit. Piastri is going to go for another lap as well. Some other people are going for another lap. So more people are pitting on lap 12. That was going to be our original strategy. We would have been mirroring pretty much the rest of the grid. So we're actually undercutting everybody halfway through the race, strangely enough. Will it be enough to be able to undercut Verstappen? I don't know. I think Verstappen was just too far ahead to be able to catch, and quite honestly, Imola is too quick of a track to be able to undercut like that. So, especially with our weak engine at this point, you know. So yeah, what this will do, hopefully, is actually keep us a lot more further ahead of the nearest people. And Lando Norris, once again, a very similar strategy to what he did in Miami, because he obviously took a grid penalty, so he's done the same strategy, and now he's fighting for you know, podiums again. He will be fighting for the podium. So Piastri's there coming out of the pits on hards. Norris is there on mediums. So it's them two again. It's Piastri and Norris again going to be fighting with me, just like Miami, for P2. So we're going to be a big annoyance to the two of them. And it doesn't... We have a pretty lonely race up until lap 21, when Piastri and Norris have been DRSing off of each other. And... you know, with that, they've managed to catch up. So, yeah, it's all to play for in these last couple of laps here. Checking the vehicle condition. The I.C.E. is at 67%. It's going to be in the 70s once we actually get the Monaco Grand Prix underway. So, we'll have to see how that goes. I really hope there isn't like a... obviously, we don't have mechanical failures on for us, because I just find that so annoying. I wouldn't want that. Maybe I'll turn it on at some point, but I definitely don't want it on right now. And it's pretty rare it happens to the AI anyway, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I hopefully it doesn't cause any big issues like that, other than the loss of speed, because at Monaco it really doesn't matter too much anyway. So that's why we're really stretching it as far as we can, because it will benefit us in future races from Canada onwards. So I'm very, very excited for that. It's going to benefit us in a big way. So yeah, but here we go. Verstappen 10 seconds ahead. He's shooting off into the distance just like real life. So hopefully our plan works, and you know, he starts getting engine wear while we have a fresh engine, and you know, the roles can reverse, and hopefully he doesn't do as well as we have to cling on to P2. But anyway, final lap, last lap of the Grand Prix, and Oscar Piastri is all over us. This is going to be difficult. Lando Norris has fallen back a little bit. Those mediums have now gone down a little bit. He did undercut people, so he probably put on like lap 10, lap 11. He was on the softs after all, so yeah, lap 10 sounds most likely. Maybe lap 11, same as me. I don't know, but Piastri is all over us, and honestly, if there was one lap left to go, he would be overtaking us. So we're counting my lucky chickens, counting my lucky stars that we're ahead, and that we only have one lap left to go. One sector left to go here, as Max Verstappen is going to cross the line to take a pretty easy victory. Once again, just like Miami, just like Baku, Verstappen's got 3 wins in a row, and he will be taking over the lead of the championship. But it will help us so much so that we have another P2 and the fastest lap. So, yeah, where that's going to leave us in terms of points, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure we've now lost the lead of the championship once again. This time to Verstappen, but it will help that we don't have to worry about Sainz or Leclerc right now. They had a terrible race.
And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Well, Max Verstappen's dominance is here to stay, apparently. 3 wins on the trot for the 4-time world champion in our career mode. He is a, well, no, he's a 3-time, because this is only our season 2, so he's won it back in real life. So yeah, for the 3-time world champion, it's 3 wins in a row. He is looking to retain that championship after a bit of a shaky start to the season, and we are trying to cling on to our top spot, cling on to this battle as long as possible without jeopardizing our allotted engine parts, really. So yeah, there you go, and we do get an extra point for that fastest lap, and it leaves us level on points going into the Monaco Grand Prix. Both of us 43 points ahead of Sainz and Leclerc, so those two are on the... Oh no, they're not on the same amount of points, sorry. It's I'm watching it on a smaller screen while commentating. Leclerc's like 2 points behind, though. It really doesn't matter. So, yeah, it's going to be all to play for. Zhou Guanyu scores points in the Alfa Romeo, so that's good for him. Nico Hulkenberg didn't have a very good race. Drugovic, P17, that's his best. He can't beat P17, and quite frankly, it's just not good enough anymore. We need a better driver if Monaco does not go well. So Drugovic's last chance will be at Monaco. We will be having a new teammate 2 episodes from now if Drugovic does not have a good race. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this episode of F123 My Team Career. If you guys liked it, be sure to hit that like button as hard as you possibly can, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time for the Monaco Grand Prix. Till then, peace.